The OECD iLibrary, a multinational database, reports that in 2017, an entire 11.8% of Spain's GDP came entirely from tourism, which indicates that a major aspect of Spain's economy is directed towards tourism as they want the industry to grow, which has led to them creating a large variety of things for tourists to see and do while they're in the country, especially in their capital, Madrid, as Madrid has developed a beautiful environment for tourists to explore, as they want to be a tourist-friendly city that offers a variety of activities to engage in while overseas, making it an ideal place for people like you and I to visit. Due to my own love of the arts, I've tried to become very familiar with many styles of art, which has led me to research Spain, as they have a vibrant culture that allows for beautiful works of art and architecture to be developed. As such, I've become very familiar with the things that can be done in Madrid in my own search for artistic knowledge. And some aspects of Madrid that are best known for tourists visiting the city are its extensive collection of art in its art galleries and its enormous cultural sites that are rich with history. The art galleries in Madrid are considered to be one of its greatest tourist attractions due to their immense popularity across the world. The travel agent himself states that some of the greatest art museums in Spain are located in Madrid, as they are called the Big Three, and are located in the Golden Triangle of Art. The first of these big three in Madrid is the Museo del Prado, which, according to its official website, focuses more on the actual painters than the paintings, as they state that due to the unique collecting style of monarchs back in the 16th and 17th century, they would often collect many works from their favorite artists instead of having a variety. And they apply a similar method of collecting art to them, as they contain a large holding of many famous artists throughout history, such as Bosch, Titian, El Greco, Rubens, Velázquez, and Goya. In some cases, they even have hundreds of these works. And they further state that this choice to collect from artists instead of their works has resulted in gaps in what they have, as the 17th century Dutch painting and the Italian primitive era are very underrepresented in the museum. One of my personal favorite works in the whole entire world is actually held in this museum, titled Saturno devorando a su hijo, as you can see in the top, where it has a guttural emotion it brings out, and its connection to Greek mythology makes it a work I personally love. The second of the big three in Madrid is the Museo Nacional Centro de Arte Reina Sofia. And the Reina Sofia Museum has a strong focus on modern and contemporary art, where they try to bring those type of artworks all into one place. These focus on these art forms by their choice of whose art the house can be seen on the site Civititas, where they make a choice to house paintings from renowned Spanish artists like Pablo Picasso, Salvador Dali, and Joan Miró. The more modern approach to the museum can even be seen on their official website, where they detail the museum's layout and how they intentionally don't have a strict historical sequence, which is very common in contemporary and modern museums. The Reina Sofia Museum also actively tries to encourage people to learn about art, as on their official website, they make the admission tickets as affordable as possible, and in some cases even free, as large families, children, and those with disabilities actually can receive general tickets for free as a way to make it so that they don't have to deal with the financial hardships while they're visiting. Additionally, this is only further supported by the fact that free admission is actually possible on certain days for everyone, as the website states that they have the museum open at certain times for everyone except for Tuesdays. The last of the big three is the Thyssen-Bornemisza Museum, which on its website states has one of the largest and most distinguished art collections in the entire world. As according to the museum's brochure, this museum has a heavy focus on history throughout the ages, as there's art within that dates all the way back to the late 13th century. And this brochure only further supports this by detailing how 3 entire levels of the building are dedicated just to their permanent collection, which is primarily works that originate from a vast range of periods, indicating their focus on it. And it's only further supported by the fact that they decided to put abstraction, cubism, and pop art on only the basement level, which is commonly ignored by tourists visiting. And due to the large collection of works that were gathered by the Thyssen-Bornemisza family, the brochure goes very into detail how there's an additional collection just for Carmen Thyssen-Bornemisza, a baroness that collected a large amount of works, which led to her having her own collection dedicated just for her. Although outside of traditional forms of art, there exist other forms of expression like architecture. As such, the historical architectural designs of Madrid are considered to be some of the most extraordinarily popular tourist attractions they have. Some of the best cultural architecture you can see while you visit Madrid is the Royal Palace and the Basilica de San Francisco el Grande, as according to the Turismo Madrid, the Royal Palace has a significant cultural importance as it acted as the home of kings, ranging from Charles III all the way to Alfonso XIII. And they further detail how many people can visit the Royal Armory, which has one of the largest collections of weapons and armors that were worn by royal families. And they state how you can visit the painting gallery within the house, which houses a tremendous amount of artistic treasures that both locals and tourists can see alike. They also go into further detail how you can visit the royal kitchen, which is one of the oldest and most well-preserved kitchens that was in a royal residency in Europe. They also state that if you visit on a Wednesday, it's even possible to see the changing of guards, which is considered a very important action in the royal palace. In another article by Turismo Madrid, they detail how the Basilica of San Francisco el Grande, a church, is an additional site that has cultural importance due to its architecture and the art inside of it. The site Lonely Planet claims that this church is the largest dome in Spain and ranks at the 4th largest in all of Europe. They also claim that this church dates all the way back to the 13th century, as St. James the Apostle originally erected the structure, which was then expanded upon and eventually given the status of Basilica Minor by Pope John the 23rd in 1963. And the site even goes into further detail how there's depictions of celestial scenes on the inside of the church through stained glass windows, murals on the walls and dome, and even the sculptures that guard the artworks inside. The beauty of Spain's capital can clearly be seen through these exquisite forms of architecture. As you see, Madrid offers a variety of artworks and architecture to experience while touring Spain. If you're someone who wants to travel in the future like I am, either to become more worldly or to simply enjoy the pleasures of other countries, Madrid is always a great option for a place to travel to. After all, there's a reason 11.8% of Spain's economy is generated through tourism.